Yes.
Okay. So we'll go for Power Apps Canvas Up, a quick discussion on Canvas Up. So can anyone just tell me what is a Canvas Up?
Yeah. So Canvas app is a platform to build small apps using multiple data source. Like we can have a SharePoint as a data source, or the backend can be Dataverse, and we can make quick apps for a group of users.
Correct. So like Canvas, Power Apps Canvas App, the name is enough to understand what is a Canvas App, because Power Apps provides you with a blank canvas onto which you can drag and drop components to form any design or user interface. And as you said, Canvas App can pull data from over 200 unique data integration sources right out of the box, making more flexible than the model-driven app. The data sources we can connect, like SharePoint Online, SharePoint On Premises, SQL Server, Dataverse, CDS, and OneDrive for Excel. Many things we can connect, and we can extract the data from any data sources to the Canvas screen and build any application. And it's a tagline now that Power Apps is giving us a low code solution. So I can say like a non IT professional also go for designing an application in Power Apps. That there is no requirement that you should be a pro in coding or development. Then you can develop an application. Anybody can develop an application in Power Apps, and it is easy to save, publish, and share across the organization. And from your service ID, if you are saving and publishing, then that changes within a very short time. It is reflecting to everybody. So it's all advantages of Power Apps Canvas. So let me discuss on Gantt chart. When I say Gantt chart, then a clear picture comes in our mind. That is it for project management tool? Yes, it is for project management tool. Actually, I can say that without displaying a Gantt view or Gantt chart, the project management tool is like incomplete. So, like the Gantt chart is a type of bar chart which provides a visual view of project and task which is scheduled over time. So, in one shot, Gantt chart is providing us the start date and end date of project schedule, the task, the start date, end date of any phases, and which phases under project and which task under project. What is the milestone? What are the task dependencies, and which task is overdue? Anything we can display in one screen. Like we will get an overall idea by seeing the Gantt chart, because the project management tool is like is a tool which we use in our day-to-day life. So let me tell you why this customization required. So this is a screenshot I have pasted from the Power Apps screen. Because in my previous project I was working in a project management tool in Power Apps, and there is a requirement that is creating a Gantt chart. So you can see here, there is no direct option to build a. You have option like column chart, line chart, pie chart, and Power BI tile, but you don't have any option to create a Gantt chart with your existing data. So what should I do? We could have done by Power BI, but there is a license issue in Power BI. Power BI Pro is included in Microsoft 365 E5 license, and the organization which hold the E3 license, they will be unable to to access Power BI. And some other issues also, like some people are also not aware about not the developer, maybe not know the Power BI, but it is not a issue for the development. But the license issue is the major issue which we can consider. So that's the reason I search for customize a Gantt chart. So initially I search in the Google that Gantt chart in Power Apps. Though some people have already customized Gantt chart in Power Apps. So with reference to their content, I try to build that Gantt chart on my screen. That is a very basic Gantt chart. You can see over that. I have also published how to create this type of Gantt chart in my article. I'll give that link on the reference. So I'll tell you the concept of this basic Gantt chart, and then I'll discuss what is the disadvantage, and then how I built to mitigate those disadvantages, and how the client is satisfied with what I developed after that. So this is a basic Gantt chart. You can see the task here. I'll say the concept total we are using 3 galleries. One is horizontal gallery, blank horizontal gallery, and 2 vertical galleries. They are nested. One is for phases, and task gallery is inside the phase gallery. So this is the basic concept you will use for any Gantt chart we will build. Uh, but the problem here is the background you can see that is fixed up to January to December. So in that case, if we are planning for a project for January to December, it will be possible to display that project inside this Gantt chart. But if our project is starting from August and ending the next year, May, then how we can place those projects inside this? So there is a concern, and also this horizontal gallery is not scrollable, so that you cannot able to see the task at a time. So these are some flaws we faced in the basic Gantt chart. So let me show you in the Power Apps screen. So this is the thing that is it is a horizontal gallery, and the months I have placed in 12 columns. That is the screen size, that is 1366, and it is fixed. Like I have just divided into 12 columns, and each template size is 108. So it is almost divided by 12. So that's why it is the problem, that is we cannot place the projects inside this. So let me show you the advanced one. So this is the advanced one. I'll show you how this is developed. It is not possible to develop in this session with a very short duration. So I'll tell you the concept and the formula I have used to build this Gantt chart. I have just developed yesterday only for this demonstration. So let me go to the Power App screen. So first of all, so this is a project list. This project list is connected with the SharePoint data source. This is also a gallery, and this is connected with this project detail SharePoint data source. And I'm extracting the data from this SharePoint list, like the project name, start date, project manager, project status, and like this. We can extract any data. And here I've given a Gantt view button. When I click on this Gantt view button, then it will navigate to the Gantt screen. So let me click on any project. So this is a Gantt view of that project. You can notice that This project start date is June 1st, 2021 to 15 February 2022. So this is from these columns are June 2021 to February 2022. Let me open another project. You can notice that the second project is 17 February 2021 to 28 October 2021. So when I click on this Gantt view button, you can notice that the column is starting from February 2021 to October 2021. So first we will see how this calendar become dynamic, because the like in the basic Gantt chart, these columns are fixed and they are not satisfying the requirement. So let me tell you how this Gantt chart calendar become dynamic. So for that, this is my Gantt chart screen. On the on visible property of this screen, I have declared some variables. Suppose this is a counter variable, the var I have taken as initially I have declared at 0. I'll tell you why this is required later on. So first of all, I have taken. Let me just noted this variables which we required. First, the number of months. The number of months is for 0 to 12, 0 to 11. That is for 12 months. Then this I have taken one variable, that is var project start. And var project end. These are the main variable for finding the difference which for project start date and project end date. First of all, the var project start, it is giving me the information, like suppose I have entered a date in my SharePoint list, suppose 1st June or anything, and that is displayed in this project list. That's why I have finding the day from that date, the year. Suppose I don't know which date is selected, so I'll find out the date I have selected from the, that is project start date, which year, like the year of that date, that is 2021. And this formula is finding the month of the selected date, that is February. Like this way, this formula find out the year and month, and similarly this is also find out the last date of the project and the day difference. I will use those formula var project start and var project end by the finding the difference. So for that I have created a temporary collection, that is date range. When I say date range, it is finding the date difference between this var project start and var project end. And when I tell months, find the difference between months, then it will find the difference between month. You can see these columns. I have just added a temporary collection date range. And these are my columns, like using the add columns formula, I have added month. This is in MMM, like it's a month version. Like it will say MAR April like this, and month year. That is, if I want to find that in March 2021 or something like that version, it is giving me that data, and also the value, which array that is taking that value. So like this way, it is giving me these 4 columns, and I will place this date range in my dynamic calendar so that I'll find out the exact columns which is inside the projects. So when I select the Gantt chart calendar and I have given date range in its items property, it is giving me the months which are included inside the project. You can see, and the last date column is giving the last date of the month. If it is February, then it is giving a 28 days. You can notice when that is February month, it is uh, bit less width than the other months, as it is like 28 months. So it is all about the Gantt chart background. So these are just showing the phases of the project. When I click on this any of the phases, it will give you the information of the phases, which phase it is. Suppose this is concept and initiation, and if it's uh, definition and planning. Let me open another project because it is a complete project and it is showing all green. So when I expand, and all these phases are expandable, you can see. And I can see all the tasks at a time. All tasks are expandable at a time. And any phase, if I want, then I can also collapse this. So when I click on any phase, then the top middle, it is showing the phase information. When I expand the phase, and if I click on any of the tasks, on the top right, the task information it is showing, the task name, task started, task ended, and the task assignee. These indicators are giving the information which status the task is like. If it is green, then the task is completed. If it is amber, then task is in progress. And if it is gray, then task is not started. So like that, we are able to know this. But now I will say how we are placing this phases and tasks so that this phase is starting from the first phase. I'll consider the first phase is starting from June 1 to August 5. Then how it is placed between June 1 to August 5? Because in the background we have just fixed the column names along with the month and year. So let me tell you how it is done. We have two things I have to take in mind, that how I will place this label. I have taken all in label. First, above this Gantt chart calendar, this is the base Gantt chart calendar, and above this, it is a separate calendar, the separate gallery. I have placed this two vertical galleries. One is this phase gallery, and like between this, like inside this phase gallery, I have inserted a task gallery. So phase gallery is the main gallery and task gallery is the child gallery. So let me tell you, this phase gallery, I have taken a label here. So to place the label at a proper place, like two things we have to take in consideration, that is X property, the place the label will start, and the width. How much width it will take to place the label so that it will be in the proper month. So for that, first let me go to the X property of this label. So it is this formula is like that. Date difference of where project start. Where project start, as I told, it is the start date of the project, and as this is a gallery, so this item dot phase start date. So this item dot phase start date is also June 1st. So it is finding the difference in months, so that the month in which, suppose if it is 0, then it is starting from the beginning. Now in this case, if I take this August 6th, then how much this month difference will come? Like if it is coming as 2, then it will start from this second month. If it will come by no 0, 1, 2, then it will start from the third month, because 0, 1, 2 is the third place of the array, so it will start from the third month. So like that, and I am multiplying this into 150. Why 150? Because when I see this Gantt chart calendar, the template size is 150. Then the date difference of the phase start date in terms of year and month, and then I'm multiplying this item dot phase start date 150 divided by the Gantt chart calendar selected last date. So this is the formula to place the X property of this phase. Similarly, the width. So this is the formula for width. Let me explain that one. So this is also the date difference of the phase start date and phase end date. Because as we are finding the width, we need to find the difference of the phase start date and phase end date. And I'm multiplying with 150 as the template size of the Gantt chart calendar. Then the date difference of phase start date and end date in months. So why months? Like how many number of column it will pass, and divided by the date difference of the date value in terms of year and month, and then date are this the last formula which the project end date finds. So this is the formula, like we can place this label inside the gallery. And like that also, we are just placing the task inside the task gallery. When I select this label, the two things I am finding, the similar formula for the task also, the date difference of this item dot task start date and task end date. In the X property, we only need the task start date, and I'm multiplying with the 150 and the Gantt chart calendar selected last date. So this will find the X property, like which place we are placing the task, and similarly the width, how much width the task will take. Suppose as we are seeing, this task is June 1 to June 23. It is taking June 1 to June 23. The second task, I'll say the June 24 to July 21. June 24 is exactly after June 23, and it is coming after July 2021. So this is the thing, how we are placing the task one after another. Like it is automatically placed with the formula. And for the design purpose, when the task is selected, any of the task is selected, you can see the highlighter here. When I select any task, one light gray line is highlighted, and that task name is displayed here. So this is all about the concept how to place the phases and tasks inside the Gantt chart calendar. And I can explain that how we have done this multiple expand and collapse. I have already shared a video regarding this, because I searched for multiple expand and collapse in Power Apps. I got many content, like when I expand one phase, then another phase is collapsed. But our requirement in case of Gantt chart to see all the tasks together, so multiple expand and collapse is required to see the task at a time, and also we can collapse so that if someone wants to see minimum number of tasks or required number of tasks, then this collapse option is also required. So what I have done, I have put in a collection. When collection opens, then it will collect the task in the collection when it expanded. And when I click on the task, then the collection will remove those count tasks. So this is the thing. If you have any question regarding this, you can ask.
So we don't have any questions yet. Anyone having any questions can just unmute and ask.
One thing I just forgot to show. Let me show that one, because another feature is there. Let me open one project. Suppose you can see that this project is 2nd June 2021 to May 30, 2022. It is an important feature. You can see here two buttons are there. One is previous. This is disabled because it is from starting. And this next button is enabled. When I click on next button, because this is placed till February, next button is I'll click, then it will go to March, April and May. Then this is disabled. When I click on previous button, and here also the tasks are showing in a proper manner. This is like from November 11 to January 26, and the task like 11 November to December 23. And when I click on previous button, this will be disabled when it will come to the start. I can show you how this has happened. I have just added a counter here, and when the date difference is less than equal to less than 9, because the columns are 9 columns in the screen, according to this formula, this is disabled and edit. So this is it, all about Gantt chart customization. If you want, I will provide a zip file of this solution so that you can share, or you can see also how this is built up, because it is not possible to write down all the formulas in the short period of time. That's why I just explained all the formulas. If any question, then you can ask.
No questions posted yet. Again, I think it would be great if you can share this project file and people can go through, and if any queries, they can just ping you in LinkedIn, or they can connect.
Definitely, I'll share you after this session.
Yeah, sure. So thanks Pragya for this wonderful session on Gantt chart. I think this will be a very useful app for project management. So you can just share this project file and people can go through, and if any queries, they can reach out to you.
Sure.
So with that, I think we are on time, and thanks everyone for joining in, and taking part in this meetup. Thanks Pragya and Sumit for wonderful sessions.